Hi, everybody, and welcome to another episode of Sex and Happiness, a show about your sex and your happiness and ours. I'm Laurie Handlers.
And I'm Michael Gibson.
And today we're going to talk about a subject that we don't think gets covered enough, and that is self-love. So, you have some thoughts about that?
I do. Self-love is one of those things that that I feel is necessary if you're going to love a partner or you're going to love anybody. You really kind of have to start with loving yourself and in adequate numbers and the kind of love that you need. So these are important parts of being an extraordinary lover, in my opinion. And again, it starts with self-love.
Well, I believe that you can't possibly love another unless you love yourself. Thank you. Unless you have a big well of love to give because you already love yourself, then I think you're merely trying to fill some holes by attracting another person and hoping that they'll fill what's inadequate or what's missing in you. And I don't think that works. And I kind of know from having tried.
Personal experience.
Experience. I think it's really important to love self.
Yeah.
So how do we go about doing that? So many ways.
Well, there are so many ways. And one of the things that we talk about, and I love the work that was done, was the 5 love languages, right? Those 5 love languages talk about how we receive love from other people. And one of the things that we do is we challenge you to look at how do these 5 love languages show up when you're loving yourself?
Different.
So it's not always the same, right?
Right.
So where you and I, my love language is quality time and words of affirmation.
And my love language is quality time and physical touch. So that means, and I like doing that with myself.
Yeah.
And you like doing quality time with yourself. And I don't know if you give yourself enough words of affirmation.
I don't give myself words of affirmation. The other thing that I find to be more along the lines of what it is that shows my self-love is when I give myself gifts. So gifts are something that I give myself, which is a different cut at the love languages.
Let's say what the 5 love languages are.
Well,
We've mentioned them already.
Right? Words of affirmation.
Words of affirmation, quality time,
gifts,
acts of service,
and physical touch.
And so there's a quiz that you can take. You can go to 5 Love Languages or lovelanguages.com, whatever. And you can give yourself a quiz to find out what your love languages are when you're relating to another. But Michael and I often ask people how we use those when relating to ourselves.
That's right.
It's really important. So let's just say that we both share quality time. And what do we do in our quality time? I am getting back into doing art. I definitely write. My eyes haven't been so good recently, so I haven't been doing a lot of reading. But I'm getting back into making art. And Michael wants me to show you something that I made in the 70s. It's framed. This was my holiday greeting card in the mid-70s. I made a self-portrait, cartoon kind of drawing, and then I wrote a poem about my overflowing gratitude and my overflowing love for people. And I sent it out to about, something like 500 people.
So you did this in the 70s.
I did.
This is really good.
Well, look at my hair. I don't. My hair is sticking up now.
My
hair over here is like a big curly hair.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
So now Michael has taken it and he's done things with it. So here's a new rendition of the same drawing, and he's creating something from it. You want to talk about it?
It's kind of hard for them to see it.
It is?
Because it goes out of focus when you put it up so close.
Oh.
But this is it. And you can kind of tell.
Did I do a bad job?
No.
Okay.
No, it's just that the focus doesn't autofocus. So this is what it looks like when you put it in Photoshop and you play around with it a little bit. And this was a lot of fun for me. So I was able to change the background and put some color in. And
he made it in a variety of colors. He changed the body, the lips, the hair color, and the background color. And he wants to do something new with it. What is that?
Well, there's something that has been sweeping the world really called NFTs, non-fungible tokens. And I saw that and I thought, what a beautiful gift to be able to give to somebody, is one of Laurie's drawings that has all kinds of different colors and is unique. And so I just put together some different colors. Like Laurie said, I changed the lipstick, I changed the hair, changed the body color in the background. And it looks amazing. And I came up with something like 650 combinations of all those things. And
So that's his artwork.
so that's my artwork in support of your artwork. And we're going to put it online and offer it as an NFT.
Great. And if you don't know about what that is, tune into the next show.
Stay tuned.
Or the show after.
Right.
The other thing that I'm doing lately is I'm working with watercolors.
Mm-hmm.
And is this good?
Yep, that's
Is this
good.
in focus? Yeah, so this is going to be a post on Instagram, but I haven't done the lettering yet.
Yeah.
It's going to be about our Honduras luxury retreat, our Extraordinary Lovers luxury retreat. So this looks like Honduras to me.
It's gorgeous, yeah.
I'm excited about that. So I started drawing again. We were recently at a workshop where one of the parts of myself told another part of myself that I wasn't really doing any artwork, because when I was younger, I used to do all kinds of crafts and artwork. I used to sculpt. I used to do needlework. And I used to sew. Now I design clothes. So if you don't know that about me, I design clothes. That's another artistic. I love fashion. So that's another artistic expression of me, is to design clothes. So I design sarongs. Maybe in another show I'll show the sarongs, and we'll have them in a place where you can order them online. And I've done pottery, and so painting. I've done beadwork. So now this new drawing thing is just like piquing my curiosity. I'm just starting to get my hands into it.
Well, and so one of the questions that I think I have for those of you who are listening and watching is, what are some of the things that you find yourself not doing here in life lately that gave you so much joy maybe in the past, or something you can think of that gives you joy now, or that you haven't done much of in the recent past that you would like to get back into, like drawing, like doing watercolors,
Like beadwork, yeah.
yeah, or gardening, or any of those things.
Cooking, baking. Those are creative outlets
Playing an
too.
instrument.
Yes. All of those things.
That's a way to show yourself love. It does a couple of things. One thing it does is it allows you to create some mastery over something that you find as fun and as maybe a hobby. I love one of my favorite podcasters. His name is Lex Friedman, and Lex is a master guitarist, and I didn't know that until he showed a couple of his videos. And he just tools around and plays guitar, and I think that's so amazing. So what is it that you do? What do you do in the meantime, or in between time, when you're having fun, or you have nothing going on? Some people play video games. There's lots of different things that you could do.
I stay in the sun. I like the sun. I like to go to the gym. I work out regularly, and I also like to take hot baths. I love taking baths, but I don't really like hot tubs. It's
No.
funny. No.
Well, hot tubs have too much chemicals in them, I think.
Yeah, I don't like hot tubs, but I love taking a hot bath. So that's some of the things for me. Now, the other thing about self-love, it's like for yourself. Like, let's just define it. It's doing something for yourself that doesn't require necessarily an audience, and it isn't an act to somebody else. Many of us express love to others, to our friends, to our family, to our partners, and we're like unabashed about it. But in terms of ourselves, I don't know about that. I became a really good cook during COVID.
Yeah, you did.
I did. I
Yeah.
learned how to really make great chicken. I made chicken soup. I experimented with recipes that I normally don't have time for.
Right.
And I started to feel, this week I made 4 quiches.
Yeah.
And
you're great with salmon.
yeah, I am. I'm really good with fish. So all of a sudden I became literate in a way that I haven't considered myself to be literate before. And it really felt good.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, it tasted good too.
Yeah. So I want to show, I want to hold up this one thing. I'm not going to talk about this right now. I'm actually going to do a whole video on it, but this is what I used to do. This is a collage. I think it's like too big to even get into the screen. But I used to collage in the 90s. I used to cut out lots of pictures from magazines, and I did collages about how I was feeling. And I was surprised. I found the collages last week, and I was surprised to find that some people think that I came like this, that I arrived on the planet being totally self-sufficient and secure, and that I never had bad feelings, and that I wasn't a victim. Yeah. And the truth is that I grew through all those stages just like everybody else. So I found about 10 collages that I made where I was really feeling like people were against me, and that I was a victim, etc. And the one I just flashed up for you was something I called New Reality. And I created a new reality for myself in the 90s through 2 collages. And when I found the collages last week, I was thrilled to find out that I'm actually living the new reality that I created then. So that's what's possible when you do artwork, and it doesn't matter if you can't pick up a paintbrush and paint. Like you literally could cut things out and paste them on paper and create from that.
That's amazing. It does something in your psyche, doesn't it? It actually sets your mind up to think about the things that you want, or the things that maybe sets up a little bit of a cognitive dissonance where you're looking at something that's not your reality right now, but that you really do want, and then being able to look at something like that can set you up to win.
And it's funny because this show is Sex and Happiness, and I've written the book Sex and Happiness, The Tantric Laws of Intimacy, the bestseller book on Amazon. And now I'm writing another book. Well, I'm done with it. It's going to start getting published soon. Sex and Happiness, over 60, it only gets better. But when I looked back at the old collages, and as I say, I'm going to go into this in detail in a whole nother episode, but in the collages I said that I wasn't sexy enough. I was too business-y. And I also said that my bedroom wasn't romantic enough, didn't look sexy. And if you were to see, first of all, you know me, you've been listening to Sex and Happiness for a long time. You know that sex is in my life and that I'm sexy. Also, my room looks like a goddess temple. And those are the things that I created on those on those collage vision boards in the 90s, and now I live it.
That's right.
So Sex and Happiness, I guess, got born in the 90s, but I didn't even know it.
I've got a confession to make.
What?
When I was invited over for the very first time to visit here, and to see your space and to see your room, I was blown away.
Really?
It is a goddess temple. It is absolutely amazing. Maybe we'll put some pictures up later on. But
no, maybe we'll take them on a tour.
Well, we could do that.
We could take people on a tour of our house on our podcast. Why not?
Yeah, we could.
You were blown away by my house?
I was. All of the art, the way that it's set up. I mean, what you see behind us, this is Laurie's house. And so, but when I got to your room, this was a place that we were going to make love.
Yeah.
And and it was hot. I walked in there and I went, wow, beautiful bed with posters or full poster
posts,
bed with a beautiful back headboard. And then in front of it is this amazing, looks like a slide, but it's called a tantra chair. And
it's
red. And it's studded,
and it's on red carpeting.
It's on red carpeting.
I have red carpeting.
And then right above it, she's got this beautiful...
we have to show it to you. We'll have to take you on a tour.
Yeah.
But that all comes from a collage that I made in the 90s where I said that nothing about my life was sexy enough. I was definitely a businesswoman. I was in corporate America, and I was focusing on the masculine aspects of my life.
Yeah.
And I wasn't focusing on the feminine aspects of my life. Even though, like, my bed then pretty much rocked. Like, I had mosquito netting over my bed. I had a skylight, and I had red little fairy lights in the mosquito netting, so it looked like pink cotton candy.
Oh, wow.
It was really beautiful, but it's nothing like what I have now.
Yeah.
So, self-love...
I was impressed.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
You never told me that.
Well, I'm telling you now.
So self-love requires looking in all aspects of your life and saying, how do I love myself in this aspect of my life? How do I love myself in this aspect of my life? How do I want someone else to love me, and am I willing to give that to myself? That's the bottom line.
Ding.
So that's what we're invoking in you today. How can you love yourself better? How can you really give yourself the love that you are hoping that someone comes into your life and gives you? If you're starving yourself. And we don't want you to do that.
So be creative. And I think that's probably the most important part, is that when you're loving yourself, be creative in all the ways that you could, whether it's through touch, whether it's through accessing your genius. Maybe it's writing, maybe it's reading, maybe it's art.
Maybe it's the way you dress yourself also, like although that's too easy for people to get lost in fashion and forget about themselves, like just buying stuff. I'm talking about like really luxuriate every area.
And you and I believe that if it's not in your calendar, it doesn't exist.
Right.
So you got to put it in your calendar. You have to schedule these things for your life in order for it to come to be. Let me say that again. You have to schedule it in your life in order for it to come to be.
Yes, it's true. It's like declaration. I declare this, and so it is. Yeah.
I love it.
All right. So before we leave them, what do we want to tell them about? We want to remind you about our luxury retreat in Honduras.
That's coming up. Yeah.
March 9th to the 15th for couples and singles who don't want to make the same mistake they made before getting into another coupling. Yeah. And you can find out about that at
honduras.extraordinarylovers.com.
And we also wanted to tell you about our affiliation with Go Love Lubrication, which we talked about in the last show. Go Love is a lube that is made and manufactured with CBD, which makes everything feel good, really, really good. And our affiliate code for that is
Sex and Happiness. Just go to golovecbd.com and put in the keyword sex and happiness.
And you'll get a 10% discount. Please join us next time. I have a feeling that in our next show we're going to take you on a tour of this house, so you can see how much art I have on the walls. And you can also, don't get me started in a whole nother rant. I can't imagine living in a house with white walls.
Right.
I can't.
Yeah.
I have tons of art, and to me that stimulates me. That makes me feel good. So anyway, maybe we'll make a tour. So tune in next time to Sex and Happiness, when I will be here and Michael will be here, and we will be thrilled to see you. Bye for now.
Bye-bye.
It's time to feel alive again. Extraordinary Lovers Luxury Couples Retreat is designed to ignite your sexuality, communication, and ease with your partner, all while enjoying the bounties of paradise. Join world-class Tantra teachers Laurie Handlers and Michael Gibson as they share how to access new levels of ease, trust, and intimacy. Drink in the gorgeous oceans and beaches of Roatan's most luxury private resort. This small by design retreat will not only make you feel safe to explore with your partner, but also find true depth and connection with other couples in attendance. This retreat includes 7 days and 6 nights of accommodations, all your meals included, and full days of transformational processes and teachings, all situated on a picturesque, clothing-optional beach and forest. Book now to reserve your spot in Roatan with us.